On tap, Victory Festbier. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today we are celebrating Oktoberfest with Festbier from Victory Brewing Company. Festbier is a Marzen, which means March in German, because that is the time of year that this lager was traditionally brewed. The original Oktoberfest was celebrated in Munich in 1810. Victory's version of the beer is 5.7% ABV. They describe it as an amber beer with a medium body. The aroma is malty and the taste starts sweet but ends dry and nutty, according to the brewer. They use German malts and European whole cone hops to brew the beer. Festbier won a gold medal in the Oktoberfest category of the Great American Beer Festival in 2007. And we're still talking about it today.
Yes, sir.
Mark, what flavors are you picking up in this beer?
The flavors, I think it starts off as like a real fruitiness and breadiness. I think that comes a little bit from a mild hop character, but essentially a lot of the good malts that are in it. So bready and fruity, a little tart maybe, a bit bitter on the finish, but overall I think it's very fruitful and very bready. It's really good. Joby,
we've been doing a lot of ales lately. This is the first lager we've had in a while.
Right.
I mean, I guess unless you include Bud Miller, of course. But compared to all the ales we've been having, would you describe this as less complex, or?
I think you have to. I mean, with all the bigger beer, bigger IPAs, you know, the complexity in those and the taste and the character of those are just huge. When you come back to this, you know, your typical amber lager, you know, it's gonna be a little quote unquote boring for, you know, if you're used to drinking those. So yeah, I mean, but for the style though, I think it's a really good beer.
What's the upside to the boringness?
Well, with the upside, it's very easy drinking. It's very drinkable. It doesn't overpower you with hops or barley, you know, taste at all. 2.5, 3 years ago, James, this would have been probably a 10 in my book before I really developed my palate to the IPAs, because this is so easy drinking. I mean, I could have seen myself having, you know, a session with these easily.
Maybe it's a good starting point for someone who's getting into craft beers.
Definitely. I could definitely see that. An amber lager is a great place to start.
Mike, you seem to have some comments about the aroma before the show. How would you describe the aroma?
Yeah, the aroma has to be almost like a baked bread kind of aroma that maybe stayed in the oven just a bit too long, where it's getting toasted on the bottom. Almost a bit of burnt roasted malt as opposed to just a roasted malt. The good thing about that is it goes away as soon as you take that first sip, and then you just get that smooth, just wonderful malt flavor the whole way down. That I think is great.
So for those of you at home, Mike is our special guest this evening. He is a home brewer and a member of the local home brewing club. We poured some beers at the local microbrew festival together. Thanks for coming.
Welcome, Mike.
What are your overall impressions of this beer?
You know, I think that it's still standing up to be the gold medal winner that it was 4 years ago in 2007. It's just an excellent representation of what it's supposed to be, and it's not trying to be anything that it's not. It's a good Oktoberfest beer. It's a good Pilsner. It's a little on the robust side for a Pilsner, whereas everybody's used to a pale kind of yellow. This is a really rich amber color, and you really get a lot of mouthfeel with it as opposed to a really cold-aged Pilsner. But I like it. I mean, it's different than most of the Oktoberfest you can find. Most of the Oktoberfest I've had has been a little on the watery side from the microbreweries this year.
Okay. Mark, what is your rating for this beer? What's your big picture on this one?
I was going to go with an 8 on this, and the reason for that is I think, like I had briefly mentioned earlier, I think that it's a very authentic to style kind of beer, and I think that it definitely presents good aesthetically. It's a good looking beer. It's a good tasting beer. It's not very filling, which I think is great in the fact that it comes with a 5.7 alcohol by volume. It's very sessionable, but it's not so strong that it's going to cause you to lose some of your integrity. So I think overall it's just a pretty solid, well-rounded beer.
Okay. Joby, does this beer taste better when you're wearing a Better Beer Authority t-shirt?
It does, James. It does. These shirts make all beers taste great. You know, I feel good wearing the shirt.
Well, damn it, I want one too.
Look good drinking the beer in the shirt.
We only give shirts to people we like.
I'm done.
No, but I mean, it's a good beer, James. I'm going with a 7 on this, and like I said earlier, if this was 2.5 years ago, I probably would have been up in the 8 or 9 range. But
You said 10.
yeah, maybe even a 10. I mean, that's probably true because for the BMC douchebag drinker out there that wants to get away from Bud Miller Coors, they could drink this and not think two things about it. You know,
Yeah.
The taste isn't overpowering that they're going to be like, oh, that's a horrible.
Well, they're
beer.
going to look at their beer and be like, what did they put in my beer?
Yeah, well, that's true.
This doesn't look like urine at all.
But my point is, if this is any indication of what Oktoberfest in Germany really is, I mean, I want to go now because I could see myself drinking this, you know,
For a month straight.
month straight. Bring it on. In this shirt.
Yeah.
I'd wear it for a month straight.
Which you can buy at the Better Beer Authority website.
I wouldn't know.
Mike,
I'll get mine.
what is your rating, and is this a good party beer?
You know, it is a great party year. It's a great party year and a great party beer.
2011.
2011. But like I said, Oktoberfest is all about the party. It's all about going with a ton of people, drinking a ton of beer, you know, liters at a time. And this is something I could really see people drinking a lot of in one sitting, going through a keg at a time. And for that, I mean, true to the style, great color, just great overall beer. I'm going with a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the calculations. Festbier gets an 8.0 on the BBA scale. What's your favorite Oktoberfest beer? What's your favorite beer from Victory? Why haven't you bought a Better Beer Authority t-shirt? Let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Prost.
Better Beer Authority, Better Beer Authority, Better Beer Authority.